All right, the questions presuppose a couple of things. First of all, that you know what a loop is. We've talked on other occasions about tote loops, the test operate, test exit loop, and its central role in NLP in terms of doing the work. If you can work to a tote loop, make the external checks, and exit at the right time, you can then apply the tote in terms of strategies when you're working with more than one person, with groups. And then it becomes a whole different matter. It's a whole different issue when your attention has to stay on the entire room. Your energy has to remain up. You have to hold on to the desired state that you're looking to create, and then you have the strategy that you're working with in itself. A nested loop is when within a greater test operate, test exit loop, you place other bits of content in. Let's say perhaps you want to build up to some particular state, some particular set of inferences. You could, quote, open a new loop within a larger loop. Now, the term nested loops didn't actually come from Pribram, Miller, and Galanter. These were the people who created the idea of the tote loop. Nested loops actually comes from computer programming, which is where you get sets of instructions which are placed one inside the other. And in order for the loops to function, they have to follow a very, very precise decision tree and decision gate. They have to go in and out. You go into one loop, close it before you can come out and enter another loop. It's a very symmetrical opening and closing process that has to occur. So in order to learn how to nested loop, not only do you have to be able to work with tote, you also have to be able to work with stories, analogies, examples. You have to be able to do demonstrations in quotes. As Richard Bandler once told me, quotations is one of the most important patterns that an NLPer can use. Within quotations, you can say anything you want. You can put examples of things. You can give instances of and demonstrations of particular patterns. So you have to know your language models pretty much inside out. You've got to be able to pay attention to the people who are in front of you. You've got to be able to get response attentiveness. Do you know what I mean? When you ask a question, you have to be able to get a response and be able to notice what's coming towards you. You've got to be able to deal with interruptions. It's fine to get angry. It's fine to get uptight. Yeah? But you also have to know how to get back out of it and not let it dominate everything else that's going to occur. A few drops of rain doesn't spoil a whole day unless you let it. So you've got to be able to change your state. You must be able to anchor. If you can't anchor the states that you're building up when you're nesting, you simply won't be able to get them to fire off properly. So you've got to be able to do a whole range of NLP skills. Best thing that you can do, start to practice giving examples and demonstrations in quotes. And the way that works is telling people about a time when, and then demonstrating what you're talking about within that. Quickest way to begin doing it. It's a much, much bigger piece of work, and I know that everybody would like to be able to do it straight away. It's going to take some practice.